Hey everyone, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light. I'm sitting in my new office, which is Greg's surfboard shaping factory. And today I'm sharing with you a dream that I had 2 days ago. Um, the way it worked out, the way that I recorded it, the first little clip is of me right when I woke up, literally grabbed my phone and just started telling you guys about the dream. And then I wrote it down, and there were some more details, and through writing it down I started to get messages about the metaphors, what it means. And I really forgot about this, but today's Father's Day, so it's appropriate to post today because my dad is in the dream. For those of you who don't know, my dad passed about 4 years ago, and that will help give you some context. So yeah, so enjoy first me sharing the dream again, and then going into the details and the metaphors and the guidance that I was getting. Even though I didn't formally channel, it was definitely that guidance of stream. So I hope you enjoy. Have a great day. Happy Father's Day to anyone out there who cares for anyone else, because being a father is much more than just where your blood relatives are. It's the kind of care and ownership and love you take over something or someone else. A dog, a person, a plant, whatever that is. Love you guys. Bye. Alright, so in this dream, first I'm nursing. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I don't have like clear memories, but I have this image of a tower, and it's almost like I was doing a lot last night, but going through all these different levels of my life. And then in the final scene of this dream, I'm coming off a boat with my whole family who's alive, my mom, my cousins, everyone. And I guess my mom said something weird to Greg, and I went to look for Greg. I said something like, "You're putting too much pressure on him." And I go up to the very top of this tower because I'm looking for Greg, and I get up there and I see that there's this, he's built this whole beautiful level, and there's like jewels, and it's just like very, like I walk into the room and I feel that like feeling of old, that energy and the new. And I look out onto the balcony expecting to find Greg, and I see my cousin Nicolette, and she goes, "Shh, we're hiding from Danielle," because from the balcony you can see everyone else. And I look over, and Nikki is sitting with my dad, and I just start crying, and I hold my dad, and it felt extremely real. And then I woke up this morning just holding my dad, and I have always had this feeling that we're going to be able to see the ones that we've loved again. I don't know how, but I've always felt that since my dad left. We knew he was going to leave, so him and I would talk about it, and I always said, like, stay in touch, you know, from the other side. Like, let's communicate. Let's not let this life and death illusion keep us apart. And yeah, it just feels like it might be part of the journey this time. So wanted to share that with you guys. Love you all. Have a great day. Hey guys, I wrote down the dream in its more comprehensive view, and I want to read it, and then I'm either going to talk about it or have my guide's channel, but I'm just going to go over it one more time. So the way the dream started was, I saw, it's like a rainy, thundery city, almost how Marvel movies start, where like Spider-Man, there's like a city and it's thundering and raining, and there's this one tower that's in view. And in the tower, there's like about halfway up, there's lights on, and the rest of the tower is dark. So from an outside view, I see a city with a dark and stormy vibe, and a tower that is very tall and spirals up. In this dream, I am midway up the tower, because that's where the lights are on. And when my consciousness zoops from, the outside view to the inside view, into the building, I see I am a nurse, and there's all different nurses of different cultures, and a lot of different issues, like a lot of different random issues, but it feels like time is going really fast, and I'm trying to address all these issues. and it just feels like I was taken all over the place in the dream. I don't have a lot of specific memories about all the problems and stuff. I just remember there was like this issue and that issue, and it feels like through all the different moments of my life. Then in the final scene of the dream, I'm with my whole family. I can see mostly my mom's side of the family. These are the people that I see at the beach house. We go out to dinner. Like, it's like one of the things that we do. We go out to dinner together as a family, and everyone wears nice summer clothes, and it's just something we've always done when my dad was alive, and any visitors. It's just part of our traditions. It's a gorgeous day. I guess we finish eating dinner, but we take a boat home, which we've never done that before. So we took the boat, we're getting off the boat on the docks, we're all walking home, we're in cute summer attire. And I guess I realized that my mom said something to Greg, who's my boyfriend, and put pressure on him to do or build something. So I go to look for him ahead of everyone else. They're still biking back to our house or getting home. So I go upstairs, but not in our beach house, just upstairs, whatever that means, to find him. And looking back now, it's definitely the top of this tower. It's this gorgeous room, and you can tell it's the top because it's almost like the lighthouse. Like there's it's kind of just like a little circle. Like there's not a whole lot of room. And then there's like this tower with a ball, kind of to me signalizing like the top of the building. There's no more layers to go up. And I'm walking around, and it's gorgeous. It's made out of these metals, these beautiful materials. Greg works with wood mostly, by the way, but it's just, and I see these glass cases, and there's little boxes with trinkets, but they're heirlooms. They're nice. I haven't seen them before. I don't know if our family has any heirlooms like that, but I just see all these jewels, beautiful. I can feel in my dream I'm in a special place. And then I walk over, because I'm still looking for Greg. I walk around this little area, and I see sitting out on a balcony is my little cousin Nikki, who is a beautiful empath, by the way. And she's overlooking the sea with this balcony, and she's sitting right next to my dad. And he's alive, perfectly alive and well. And they're acting so casual. And Nikki says, "Shh, we're hiding from Danielle." So you can see over the balcony that you can see the whole family walking home from dinner. And I guess she's hiding from Danielle. My dad gets up. I hug him. I start to cry. Obviously, I've not felt my dad like that in over 4 years. And I could feel his skin and everything. I really feel like I hugged my dad last night. And they can see everyone below, and I just hugged my dad, and I woke up crying / happy. So that's the dream after I had a minute to write it all down. And I just really feel like I just want to break this dream down for you, because I've gotten insights already to what it means, and I can channel when I close my eyes, but sometimes it's just intuitive, and I just know it. So I'm going to share with you this dream interpretation. So the dark and stormy vibe and the tower, this is coming into Earth. When you come to this planet, it's a dark and stormy vibe. It's going to be hard. There's going to be challenges. It's that world that we come in to experience in separation. And the tower, I think, represents all the different lessons that we come here to learn in order to ascend, but I use that word lightly, experience, full. I would say the last level is when we fully recommune with ourselves, with God. We all come back into the oneness. So I feel like in the dream I'm led into where I am, or at least where I was, or one of the levels, and where the lights are on. That's where my consciousness is, right? If it's a game and you go to the next level, and you're trying to beat the game and get to the top. It's funny because I've always said I wanted to beat the Super Mario game. I never did when I was a kid. I never like made it. Apparently, like goes to the top of the building and stars come, whatever. So there's all these problems, right? And that's, or on Earth, it does seem like, and as a physical person, there's all these different issues that we have, and we have to, that's like all the levels, right? It's the seeing the problem and then solving it, but not so much in a physical way, but like understanding the lesson, the higher lesson, and that's how you really solve it, and I guess move on to the next level, the next level, the next level. So it was kind of like cluing me in, and I really do feel like I was like all over the place last night. So maybe I got an insight into all different levels. Maybe that's the level I'm at now. I'm not a nurse anymore, but that was a big time in my life, a big level. I learned a lot physically, but also spiritually from that experience. I always say I feel like I lived 1,000 lives through nursing, because I got to see so many people go through their issues and just got to watch and learn. It's amazing and terrible, but mostly amazing. Of course, watching people suffering can be difficult. So then the final scene, there's something really wholesome about this moment, because as I said, my family, we all go out to dinner. Just like when I think back to fond memories of the beach house with my family, it's all of us together, walking home from dinner, just having a nice night, a beautiful summer evening on Long Beach Island, which is a freaking one of the most gorgeous places ever. The vibes here in the summer, the family, the love. People love this place, and there's vibes here, for sure. We get off the boat, which is cool. My dad used to have a boat, and we did used to take the boat, but not usually to dinner. And we're all just walking, and it just feels good. And then, oh, here's an issue. My mom, told Greg to build or pressure on him. I just kept getting the vibe like she put pressure on him. There wasn't a lot of like what she said or anything, but Greg's missing, and I go to find him. And it's funny because, not that this was ever intentional, through my dad's like process of healing and dying, I got to this point where I just decided like I'm going to do whatever makes me happy, because I saw he was passing and I was losing this whole part of me, and I was like, well, I need to really be happy if I'm going to be able to make it through this. Like, I have to figure out how to fill my cup, because this is obviously going to be a big impact on my life. So I was not looking for a boyfriend at all. And it's almost like Greg shows up right when I make that decision that I'm just going to live my life for me. And it was just about 3 months before my dad died. And they have a similar energy. Not the same, but, you know, my dad, like, worked with his hands, and Greg works with his hands, and, like, it almost felt like I wasn't allowed to have a dad and a boyfriend. Like, I could only have one masculine energy, so they got to overlap for a bit. But even when Greg and I met, like, my dad wasn't in his highest functioning state. Like, he was still doing a lot, he was still working, but he was starting to experience a lot of pain, and Greg didn't get to see Ernie in his, like, oh, I'll do everything for you days, and I'll fix everything, and I'll make you dinner, and I'll, like, you know, like, my dad did everything. He was just, like, he just gave and gave and gave. And everyone, like, that you talk to will tell you that. There's not one person that won't tell you that, because that was his whole life. And as his first daughter, I got to experience the benefits of all that. So, yeah, it's just kind of funny that even in this dream, there's, like, an energy exchange of, like, I'm looking for Greg. When I get upstairs, I find my dad. And, of course, he's sitting with my cousin Nicolette. And when my dad was dying, my whole family came home. Like, my cousin lived in California, and one of my cousins was trying to move to New York City, and I have cousins, like, that live in California, and it was amazing. Everyone came home for, like, weeks, and we all just hung out, and we made dinner, and had people over. My house was an open house. We let everyone that my dad ever knew come over and say goodbye to him, share memories. I mean, it was a really magical experience. And my cousin Nikki had a lot of everyone played a role in it, but my cousin Nikki, she can just be so hilariously funny, and there's so many stories featuring her where, like, it's the night before my dad's funeral and my mom doesn't have a dress, and she goes dress shopping with my mom, and my mom is another beautiful being, and she, like, always has short dresses on. I don't know why. That's just been her personality. She doesn't even like dresses, but she just, like, has shorter things on sometimes. And my cousin Nikki telling the story of going dress shopping with my mom for my dad's funeral, and she's trying on all these dresses, and she's trying not to, like, be too hard on her, but she's also like, you can't wear any of these because it just isn't gonna look good for this funeral. And we're just, the whole time, that was just one story, the whole experience, of course we're all horribly sad, but we're also just cracking up at all the little interactions that we had. And so they come home, it's like 10 o'clock the night before the funeral. We don't know what my mom is gonna wear, and we're like, please, like, let her wear something that's longer dressed or something. I'm gonna have to get Nikki on here to tell you the story because she's so funny. And now Nikki, she is working out in California. She's in the tech world. She's doing super amazing, and she's a brilliant computerist, but she's also got this heart and soul and love and joy, and this, a lot of my family members have this, but she's in the dream, so I'm going to be featuring her in this video. Hopefully I'll get her on my channel to speak one day. And so it's just, like, not surprising to me that when I find my dad, my cousin Nicolette is already sitting with him. She's just casually there, and I do feel like her spirit, she has such a deep and beautiful spirit, and I think she understands so much on this deeper level, and it's why she's always laughing and making jokes and wants everyone to feel good around her, because I think she really understands the oneness in this certain way. And so yeah, so she's just sitting there with my dad, and I never find Greg, but their energies are very similar. As I said, it almost felt like I was never going to be allowed to have both in this level of the game, because Greg does a lot too, and he's been a huge support to me. And just like my dad, me and my dad too, we were best friends. Like, I love my dad. He it took me a long time to realize that he wasn't just my dad. Like, he was my really good friend, and I spent a lot of time with him, and I love both my parents so much. I was so fortunate that I can't ever remember getting in trouble, really, or them ever saying no to me. They just always encouraged me to like, live life to the fullest and take advantage of all the opportunities that they never had, like having a beach house and traveling and studying abroad. And but yeah, so the dream to be able to hug my dad again was really amazing. And like I said, the first time I told the dream, I just have always felt like, because my family is, to me, has been so special, like so loving, and I don't believe there's any, like, unnecessary suffering. And what my guides always say is that one of the most beautiful journeys you can take in separation, or like in these, you know, experiences when you're not in oneness with God, is that journey back to oneness. Because to come from a separate self where you feel unloving and guilty and hatred for yourself and jealousy and all these lower frequency emotions, when you experience that and then you come back to love, like, that contrast, I'm guessing, is like the most insane high you've ever experienced, of going from that feeling sad, that separation, that all those terrible things, and then you come back to oneness, and they say it's the most worthwhile journey that you can do. And just experiencing that hug for my dad after not being able to hug him for 4 years, I feel like it was just a metaphor for the journey we're on here. And
it was like the most amazing feeling, instant tears. I don't always cry. Not everything makes me sad. I have a pretty hard wall up with different sad things because when I worked in the ER I had to, but and everyone in my family was just right below. We could see them, but it was funny that Nikki was hiding with my dad. It almost like says to me she knows something that maybe we all don't, or maybe that I'm discovering through my process. And again, that's just my perspective. But dreams are really cool because it's not like I go into my sleep having ideas about what I'm going to dream. They really kind of come to you, and I do consider them messages from my guides and teachers. So I really wanted to share that experience with you guys. I know this isn't a proper channeling video, but yeah, it felt important. And if I do see my cousin Nikki again, I'm gonna ask her to share some stories from my dad's passing, because it was honestly one of the most some of the most amazing memories I have with my family was through that time, before, during, and after. And then COVID happened the next year, and things got different a little bit, obviously, but yeah. So thank you for listening to this dream, into my interpretation of it, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have any thoughts about my dream? Do you have any thoughts about what it means, what the symbolism is? Do you have any experiences like this? I know I'm not the only one. That's why I share these videos, because I know we're all fractals, aspects of each other. So please let me know. And if you like this video, subscribe and share. My goal is to get 300 subscribers. I'm at like 278 right now, so I'm setting my intention, although I trust in the highest good. I'm stoked that 277 people are interested in what I have to say and what my guides are saying. So thank you all so very much. I wish you the best day. Love you all. Have a great day, because it's the morning. Bye.